Charlie Curnow details are just coming through now for the trade that was done for his services in the final moments, really, of the trade period. So the Swans get Charlie Curnow as well, along with picks 31 and 42 this year, and Carlton's second-round pick in 2027. And Carlton get Will Hayward, Sydney's first-rounder this year, Sydney's first-rounder next year, and Sydney's first-rounder in 2027. So that is a big result for the Blues, and a big result when it comes to Essendon and Hawthorn. Zach Merritt staying at the Bombers. Charlie Curnow finds himself a Swan, but it came at a big cost for them.
It certainly did. Wow, that's very much Sydney going all in right now, isn't it, Ralphie?
So it's effectively, it's 3 first-round picks and Will Hayward as well, and also Ollie Florent for the future third-rounder, which you can throw in there. So Sydney do have to receive back pick 31 and 42. If you do the points there, you probably say that one of those first-rounders is only a slide. But it does give Carlton such an amazing arsenal, not only to secure Harry Dean and Jack Eisen and also Tyson Stengel, who are father-son and academy picks this year, but also Cody Walker next year. We know it's a year in which there'll be bidding changes, and so you might almost need 2 first-rounders to secure him as a top 2 pick. So if you're Carlton, you have the now in the players they've brought in, and you also have the future in the shining light upon the hill that is Cody Walker and Harry Dean, who should play 20 games next year. So it's not Curnow, but it's a pretty damn fine deal.
It will be interesting to see what Carlton do with the picks, because they've now got picks 9 and 11. Is that going at the moment?
Yep.
But if the bid for the Peter Dean's boy comes before that, they don't want to soak up those picks in using if he goes at pick 7, 6, 7 or 8. So I wouldn't be surprised, and you can still trade picks up until the national draft. I wouldn't be surprised if Carlton have a bit of a plan with another club, that if Harry Dean gets bid on before their pick, that they might trade one of them out into a future year and still be able to get Dean using other points, because you don't want to soak up those early picks on a father-son.
It's a big reset.
Yeah.
It's a big reset now. So Carlton fans, you're starting again, really. Not absolute ground zero, but no one wants to go to ground zero anymore. But that to me just signals that, OK, they got 5 top 30 picks in the last 5 years. There's trauma coming. They're trying to get ahead of it now with trading Charlie Curnow, and I think this has got Graham Wright's fingerprints all over it.
Yeah, their team will look completely different next season. So you see the 5 names on the left that will... 4 of them will probably play. Reedy will still be the backup, you would think, behind Pitnet. Jagger Smith will come into the team as well. There's another one. And then, of course, a couple of high-end draft picks that they'll expect to get this year. So they could have...
Kickers, Joey.
6...
They've got kickers, haven't they? They've got some skill there on the left.
They've got some more skill, more talent. For me, they're still probably depth players. I don't know if it's really going to change the fortunes of the Blues too much, those type of players. But it certainly adds a bit of depth and a bit of running kicking, which they've needed.
Talk to me about Will Hayward. So an outstanding year last year that saw that $800,000 a year offer from Carlton. In the end, he stayed. Now he will... in fact, get to Carlton, potentially on an enhanced deal. So 29-10 in 21 games this year in a team that was crying out for forward presence. Now, that looks OK, but let's face it, he'll never have more opportunity. It's effectively 2 scoring shots a game. There will be times where the butchers of Lygon Street will be kicking to him, and he's going to have some tough days out there.
Yeah, for me, look, Ainsworth and Hayward are depth players. I don't think they are, as good as maybe their reputations say, because you can look at the numbers there for this season. So Hayward averaged 11 disposals and just over, nearly a goal and a half a game. But so did Ainsworth, so did Zach Williams and Francis Evans averaged similar numbers. So I think they've added some depth with Ainsworth and Hayward. Hayward's played 9 seasons. He's only kicked 30 goals in a year twice. In 9 years, never finished top 10 in a best and fairest. Florent will add some kicking off half-back. Ainsworth, again, is a nice player. So that's why I'm not overly, optimistic about what the Blues can do with those players, but I think it just gives them a bit of depth and a different look to the team that they've had in recent years.
I think it puts a real challenge now to Michael Voss to make this work. I mean, you're losing a gun to get some bits and pieces. OK, there's some future picks coming in there, and they're terrific, but they're not going to solve the problems of tomorrow. That's for down the path. So, big challenge now for Michael Voss to make this work. And he doesn't necessarily have to win a flag with this group or make a prelim, but he's just got to show that he can get involved in the ball movement game and he can play modern football that will take them there eventually.
All right, we're going to whiz through some of the teams that perhaps weren't as active during the trade period, but we still need to have a look at what they have done. Fremantle, David King, a club you've had a close look at over the course of the season?
Yeah, look, we love their list. We all do. I think McVee's a good acquisition. I think he's a constant threat. I don't think we've seen the best of this player. He can play a variety of roles. I'm not sure he's an elite ball user, but maybe he doesn't have to be at Fremantle the way that they operate and the way they move the ball. But I like the fact they're pretty settled.
Yeah, well, they've had a couple of big trade periods in recent years with Luke Jackson, Shea Bolton. So to be able to target a specific need, and that's another half-back to support Jordan Clark, I think they've done pretty well.
A full year from Hayden Young and about a year from Joey Amos is probably, all they'll get, as well as, of course, McVie coming through.
Is this good enough to win it, this list?
Yes, they can be contending, absolutely. Yep.
The West Coast Eagles, a strong draft hand. We know, obviously, Starcevic going across from the Brisbane Lions. That's great for them and it gives them some experience. But the draft hand's where it's at.
Yeah, it is. And they had a sort of mantra. They wanted to try and get some more sort of senior bodies in there just to help bridge the gap. You mentioned bridging the gap. They're still a long way off. We understand that. So to get Starcevic really helps and Tyler Young. And now, they're going to get the two best kids in the country as well to continue to build on what they've got. Harley Reid's committed long term. So it's going to be a slow burn, but at least the wheels are slowly starting to turn.
They're thinking about potentially trading out number one overall pick and splitting it. Don't do that.
No,
just go and take 1, 2 and 13, do your thing. They'll also get Dev Robertson as a delisted free agent. They haven't addressed their ruck situation there. There's some talk about whether, they were interested in Rowan Marshall. They weren't in the end. But, I think if you're wanting to keep Harley Reid long term, eventually the next priority is a really exciting ruckman.
The Tigers, another rebuilding side that will be a big player come draft night later in November.
Oh, they've been unreal over the last 4 years. They've got 12 top 30 picks have come into the place. So they're rebuilt. It's like watching the Paris Fashion Week when they unveil their top line draftees, Sarah.
Tell us a little bit about
and fall train. We've seen quite a few of those guys, 3 and 4 again, added onto those.
Tell us about Rechko, David.
I don't know anything about him. I don't even know if he
or
exists.
Paris Fashion Week, I dare say.
Well, I just think that they've made a conscious decision as a football club and they're sticking to it. I like this. I think this is a strong football club. They know what winning premierships is all about. They know you've got to go down to come back up. I'm a fan.
So Rechko is a rookie who was delisted by Geelong on October 2. He then was, I assume, relisted. Richmond wanted him. They traded pick 99 for him, a hard-running utility. We know stuff all about him, but we wish Patrick Rechko well in his new career at the Tigers.
Utility is a giveaway that you don't know much about him.
Absolutely.
I've heard he's a likely type.
We need Shifter in here, don't we? He will be here for the draft.
Yes.
A 40th draft for
Shifter,
which is going to be awesome. North Melbourne, Jai Simpkin remains at the club. What did you make of their activity throughout the week, Joey?
Wasn't a lot, was there? Very quiet for North Melbourne. It's more for me just about the culture and their ability to learn to win and learn to play better football as a group for longer, because we know they've got talent. That's indisputable. They've just got to be able to put it together, Alfie. They've got to be able to start to build a fabric of a football club that are going to win games consistently.
So Jai Simpkin had 33 touches, 730 metres gained in that last game against Adelaide as a wingman. That's the reason they kept him. Yes, because he's the captain. Not next year, but he has been the captain, and they feel like he can play that role. And then Zane Dersma, who wanted to get to Essendon, it was never going to happen as a top 4 pick. My understanding is he's hired a personal trainer, so he understands now that, instead of getting out there with Harley Reid and having some nice nights out over summer, get yourself absolutely rock hard fit. If you're that mid-forward, you need to be more athletic than the player who's playing on you. You need to be a supreme athlete, and hopefully the penny has dropped for him across the summer.
I know it's difficult to attract talent to clubs that are struggling. One of the pledges that Alistair Clarkson made when he was appointed as senior coach was they would be in the hunt for free agents and delisted free agents and try and find some stars. If you look at the last few years, the names that have come in have been underwhelming. And some of those names, they're not really having a massive impact on the football club. And you can go back another 4 or 5 years if you like. At some point, that needs to change. If you are to make a move up the ladder, and it's not going to necessarily just be because of those guys. They've had, I think, 14 top 30 picks over the last 5 years come into the place. There's enough talent there, but they need the support crew. If they're going to go through the turmoil and trauma of getting them, to do more than probably what they have.
And that's the challenge. They missed on Windhager, they missed on Butterick. They're not superstar players. Of course, the A-graders don't want to come to them. So I think they felt that we don't just bring players in because all it means is we can't then play the top 30 picks on our list. Couldn't agree with you more. At some stage, they need to top off this list. And we all know, of course, that they have moved on their number 1 draft pick to the Richmond Footy Club.
We're going to head to Matt Rosa from the Bombers press conference in just a minute, but just quickly, the final club at Kingy, Port Adelaide, the fact that we're not talking about them too much is a good thing because it means Zach Butters is still at the club.
Yeah, look, again, I just think this is about to fall off a cliff, this list.
Cool.
It's
a big call.
3 top 30 picks in the last 5 years, I think, had come in. They've done a lot of trading and got a whole handful of nothing, if you ask me. I mean, we all talk about Rosie, Butters and Horn Francis. Outside of that, Georgiades, obviously.
Yeah.
What else is there? I think they're in for a lot of pain to come, and they're about to plummet, if you ask me.
They don't want to rebuild. They've said that, but what are they doing with their list? Yeah, that's going to be the big question this season.